Okay, so in yesterday's lecture, we have completed various point processing operations, and we have started with basic concept of local processing. So basically in local processing, okay, so basically mask processing, we consider a pixel along with its neighbor in order to decide its enhanced value or processed value. Yes, Nishant, your answer is correct. In mask processing, pixels are new values of pixels are dependent on their neighbors, and in case of point processing, new value of pixel is dependent only on the pixel under consideration. Okay, so this is basic difference between point processing and mask processing. So for mask processing, we can consider different types of neighborhoods. So as shown here, you can have a 3 by 3 neighborhood for all the pixels in the image, or you can have a neighborhood as say 4 neighborhood as shown here, or you can have simply vertical neighborhood or horizontal neighborhood or uh, symmetric neighborhood as shown here, which is of size 5 by 5. Okay, so total there are 24 neighbors to this pixel under consideration. Okay, so for most of the applications, popular neighborhood size is symmetrical. It is 3 by 3 8 neighborhood, or it is 4 neighborhood as shown here. Because of symmetry, these masks are easy to apply. Implementation of algorithm is easy. Instead of 3 by 3, you can have 5 by 5 masks or a mask or 7 by 7 mask as shown here. Okay. So if you have an image as shown here, we consider this top left corner as origin. Then along x-axis, your column numbers are increasing, and along y-axis, row numbers are increasing. Okay, so if we want to apply a mask on the given image, we scroll this mask over entire image. Okay. So we start with say this second row, second column pixel. We apply the mask 3 by 3 mask around this pixel. Then we, after applying mask to this pixel, we move to next pixel, and accordingly mask position will change. It will be around new pixel, 3 by 3 mask around new pixel. Then we again apply the mask to this pixel, then we go for next pixel, and so on until we complete all the columns from the selected row. Then we scroll the mask downwards by one row. Then again we complete all the columns from the. Please mute your mics. Okay, so we apply the mask pixel by pixel. We complete all the columns in the given row. Then mask is scrolled down by one row, and again all the pixels from new row are completed. Okay, so from very first pixel, we can apply the mask over entire image till last pixel in the image. Okay, and applying a mask means performing two-dimensional convolution. So if you're, say you're considering this particular 3 by 3 area, your pixel with value E is pixel under consideration, and the neighboring pixel values are as shown here. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, these are the pixel values under selected neighborhood, and we are convolving it with filter coefficients. So say this is your filter selected for particular processing. So the filter coefficients are R, S, T, U, V, W, and X, Y, Z. So we perform two-dimensional convolution between image area under the mask or local neighborhood, pixel values in the given neighborhood, and filter coefficients. And this two-dimensional convolution is as indicated here. So we basically take product of pixel value with respective filter coefficient and we add all these products. Okay, so new value of the pixel, that is E processed, is given by V into E plus R into A into R plus B into S plus C into T up to last pixel value I into Z. So we get here total 9 product terms and we add all these product terms to get new value of the pixel. Okay. So this is meaning of two-dimensional convolution. Now let us consider one example to understand this process further. Okay, so basically this spatial filtering is useful for uh, various applications. Like we can use it for blurring or smoothing. We can also use it for sharpening certain details in the given image. We can also use it for edge detection. And we can get these different types of operation by varying these mask coefficients. Okay, so according to the filter coefficient values, we can get different function. For smoothing filter, these filter coefficients are different. For sharpening purpose, these filter coefficient values are different. Okay, so according to the desired operation, we can select these filter coefficients. Okay, so these filter coefficients decide type of filter. Okay. So let us start with spatial filtering for blurring purpose or for smoothing purpose. Okay, sometimes we also refer to these filters as averaging filters or low pass filters. Okay, so basically it takes average value of all the pixels under the mask, or it takes average value of all the pixels in the neighborhood and replaces pixel under consideration by that average value. Okay, and that's why it is also known as averaging. And all of us know that averaging is equivalent to low pass filtering operation. That's why these filters are also known as low pass filters, because whenever we take average over certain region, all abrupt changes are filtered out, or high frequency noise is filtered out when we take average of certain region. That's why this is also known as low pass filtering operation. Okay, now where to use this low pass filtering, or where we can use smoothing spatial filters. So the purpose of using these filters is to reduce irrelevant details. Sometimes in the captured image, there are more details are present, and sometimes these details are irrelevant to the application. So in order to remove these irrelevant details, we can apply smoothing filters on the given image. So this is one purpose why we use smoothing filters. Another important purpose is reducing the noise. So whenever we capture images, those are corrupted either by Gaussian noise or they are corrupted by salt pepper noise. Sometimes these pictures are like satellite pictures, those are corrupted by white noise or zero mean noise. So in order to remove these different types of noises from the captured image, we need low pass filtering operation or smoothing operation. Okay. Then third purpose or third application of spatial filters is reduction of false contours. So whenever we capture an image with say with less amount of resolution, what we need is we need to zoom the image to reconstruct original size image. And during this zooming operation, there is false contours effect. Basically, as you go on zooming the image, it gets some blocky nature, or there are false contours. Okay, so to reduce effect of these false contours, we can apply smoothing filters on the image. Okay, so these are the reasons why we use smoothing filters in image processing. Okay, now let us have a look at how we can apply this smoothing or blurring filter on the given image. So as shown here, these are mask coefficient values or filter coefficient values for smoothing filters. This value is actually 1 by 9. Okay, 1 by 9, 1 by 9 at each and every position. Okay, 1 by 9. Okay, so here you have 1 by 9, 1 by 9. Okay, 1 by 9. And here also it is 1 by 9, 1 by 9, and 1 by 9. Okay, so these are filter coefficient values. Just don't consider this right now. Okay, so for smoothing filter, simple averaging filter, coefficient values are as shown here. So 1 by 9, 1 by 9, 1 by 9, 9 times. Okay, so here we are considering filter size or local neighborhood size or mask size as 3 by 3. Okay, and all these coefficients have same value, which is 1 by 9. Okay, so we can apply this filter as shown here. We can apply it on all the pixels in first row, then we can go to second row, third row, and so on, and we can apply it up to last row. Okay, so okay, so this is how you can apply an averaging filter or blurring filter on the given image. Okay, and if you look at these filter coefficients, all of them are identical, and it effectively takes average of 3 by 3 area, or it considers average of all the 9 pixels under the mask. That's why it is also known as averaging filter. Okay, now multiplying every pixel value by 1 by 9 and then performing the addition, we can make the operation simpler by taking this 9 parameter outside this mask and simply adding all the numbers, 9 numbers, and dividing the addition by 9. So the filter we can also write as shown previously. Okay, when we take this 1 by 9 parameter, which is common to all the coefficients, and we can represent the mask as shown here. We can represent the filter coefficients as shown here. So all the coefficients here, they are indicated as 1, but the entire mask is finally multiplied by 1 by 9. So this scaling parameter is very important. Okay, so we can take this 1 by 9 outside, and in that case here all coefficient values are 1. And when we apply this as two-dimensional convolution, what we need is we need to simply add all the pixel values, these 9 pixel values, and then divide the addition by 9. Okay, so this is your averaging, very basic averaging filter. Okay, and when we apply this averaging filter on the given image, ultimate result is blurring of the image. Noise is removed and sharp edges are blurred because of the averaging. Okay, so one of the simplest spatial filtering operations we can perform is smoothing operation. Simply average all of the pixels in a neighborhood around a central value. Okay, and it is basically useful in removing noise from images, and it is also useful for highlighting gross information. So basically, when we take average of the given image, it gives us an idea about gross information contents. Okay, so this is your simple averaging filter, and we can also represent it in this format where we took 1/9 common from all the filter coefficients. Okay, so here one example is given. So this is your given image, and say presently we are considering this small 3/3 neighborhood. Okay, and here you can observe what are the pixel values under the selected 3/3 neighborhood. Okay, so these 3/3 region, for this 3/3 region, these are the pixel values as shown here. Of course, we are considering 8 bits per pixel. So all these values are in the range 0 to 255. Okay, so as shown here, these are the pixel values: 104, 100, 108, then 99, 106, 98, 95, 90, 85. Okay, so these are the pixel values, and we are performing convolution between this local neighborhood and 3/3 filter. So our filter coefficients are 1/9, 1/9. Okay, so all the filter coefficient values are 1/9. So we take 2D convolution, means we multiply every pixel value with respective filter coefficient, and then we add all these products. Okay, so we can determine new value of this pixel E by using this mathematical computation. 1/9 multiplied by 10. uh, okay, first here central pixel is shown, 106 multiplied by 1/9, and then all the neighbors are mentioned here. Okay, so this is your first neighbor, 104 multiplied by 1/9, then 100 multiplied by 1/9, and similarly we multiply every pixel value with 1/9. Then we add all these products, and we get resultant value as 98.33. So this 98.33 is nothing but average value of all these 9 pixels which are in the neighborhood. Okay, so here this original pixel value of 106 is replaced by 98.33, which is average value of this 3/3 neighborhood. Okay, so this is applying averaging filter is very simple operation as shown here. Okay, so now consider one more example. I request all of you to note down this 5/5 image. Please note down. Uh, okay, so I'm just reading first row: 10, 10, 10, 9, 9. Please copy all these rows. And now we have to apply averaging filter or arithmetic mean filter or basic smoothing filter on the given image. Okay, this basic averaging filter is also known as box filter. Why? Because if you try to visualize this in 3 dimensions, this is x coordinate, y coordinate, and consider amplitude as third dimension. So this amplitude is same for all the pixels. So it looks like a box. That's why this basic averaging filter or arithmetic mean filter is also known as box filter because of its shape. Okay. Okay, so please note down this image. Now, of course, we are going to start from second row and second column. So this pixel with value 0 is our first pixel under consideration. Okay, so as shown here, now in order to determine new value of this pixel by applying averaging filter, we need to consider this 3 by 3 neighborhood, which is shown in this picture in yellow color. Okay. So for this pixel, this yellow colored region is its neighborhood. Now applying averaging factor means simply add all these pixel values and divide that addition by 9 and type your answer in the chat box. Okay. So applying averaging factor is very simple process as all the factor coefficient values are identical to each other. Okay. So for this very first pixel, we consider this as neighborhood. So total there are 9 pixels, and by taking average of these 9 pixels, we can get new value of this pixel. So please type your answer in the chat box. What is new value of this very first pixel? Please compute the average of all the pixels and type it in the chat box. So are you getting the things? Okay, I'm getting few answers. Okay, so let us check which answer is correct. Okay, so basically we are determining new value of pixel at this particular location. Okay, so here this blank image represents enhanced image or processed image. So if we add all these numbers, addition is 82. 82 divided by 9 gives you 9.11. Okay, 9.11. And this 9.11 is rounded to nearest integer. Okay, so actual answer is 9.11, and after rounding it to nearest integer, we get new value of this pixel as 9. Okay, getting this? So 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 0 plus 10 plus 10 plus 12 plus 10. It gives this addition as 82 divided by 9 gives the result 9.11, and after rounding to nearest integer we get 9. Okay. Now we have to repeat this process for all the pixels at central location. This we have to determine new values of this central 3 by 3 triangle. Okay, so once we have finished this, we can go to next pixel from the row. Okay, that is now this is your new pixel under consideration, and for this pixel now we are considering this yellow region as 3 by 3 neighborhood. Now please type your answer for next pixel, second pixel. So because this is averaging filter, all the filter coefficients are identical to each other, and we need to determine simply average of all the pixels. We need not multiply every number by 1 by 9 and then perform the addition. Instead of that, we can make it simple. Okay, so simply add these 9 numbers and give me your answer. So 10 plus 10, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 10, so it is 80 plus 2, again 82 by 9. So you will get the same result. 82 by 9 is, there is one mistake. This is again 9.11, and resultant value, once we round it to nearest integer, it becomes 9. Yes, few students have given me correct answer. Mehak, Pranav, your answers are correct. And Sharan and Sai, very good for attempting the question. Very good, Rakshit, you are attempting the questions. Okay, now tell me what is next pixel value, new value of the next pixel. Now this is your last pixel, third pixel, and we are considering this neighborhood. Okay, neighborhood is indicated in yellow color. follow same process, just add all these values and determine new value of the pixel. So what is your answer? For next pixel. So here I think you're getting correct 90 addition. 90 divided by 9 gives you exact 9 value. Okay. So for third pixel, you are getting value as 9. Okay. Now, once we complete these 3 pixels, now we are going for this next pixel. Okay. So now you have to determine new value of this pixel. Okay. Yes, there is a question. Very good, Sai, that you have asked this question. Question is, ma'am, do we have to take the central value also? Yes, it's very good you are asking these questions, because many other students might be having this doubt. We also consider the central value, because we are determining new value of the central pixel. So central pixel is the pixel under consideration. It contributes maximum to the result. Okay. So of course we have to consider neighborhood as well as central pixel. Because we are modifying this pixel, we must consider this pixel. Okay. So if the operation is not clear, let me go to previous slides and once again explain you this two-dimensional convolution. If you look here, we start with the central pixel. Okay, so first multiplication is central pixel multiplied by respective filter coefficient. And then we consider all its neighbors, 1 by 9 into 104, 1 by 9 into 100, and so on. Okay, so we consider all the 9 pixels under the neighborhood. Okay. So I hope the doubt is clear. Okay. So we completed first 3 pixels. Okay. This 3 pixels from second row. Now after completion of all the pixels from this row, we can go to next row. Okay. So from next row, we start with this pixel. Now here, I like to explain you one important point. Right now, we are not considering pixels from very first row. Similarly, first column. We are also not considering pixels from last row and last column. Okay. And why we are not considering these pixels? Because for very first pixel, if we consider 3 by 3 neighborhood, we need to know values of these pixels, right? We need to know these 9 values. Okay. And these pixels at these 3, 4th and 5th location, these pixels are not available, right? We have this image and we don't have this data, right? Similarly, if you go for this very last pixel, okay, or any other pixel from last row, we need some assumption for this neighborhood where, say, these locations, because these pixels are not actually available. Okay. So that's why instead of making assumption, right now we are considering only this central 3 by 3 region, for which we are determining new values. For all the pixels in very first column, first row, Similarly, last column, last row, in order to determine their processed values, we need to do some assumption. Okay. So say in case we want to determine new value of this particular pixel, we can assume a value of 0 at these places. Okay. So this we can do by zero padding the image. We can consider that the image is surrounded by rows and columns of zeros, so that we can determine values of the pixels which are on the border. Okay. So if we want to determine new value of this pixel, one of the assumption is assuming that the image is surrounded by zeros. Okay. But when we process this image by the assumptions at zeros, these border values get disturbed abruptly because we are assuming here zero value. So instead of zero assumption, what we can do is, the best assumption is repeating the last column, last row, and repeating first row, first column, and first row, assuming that same last column is present here. So we can assume that pixel value 10 is present here. Then here say pixel value 11 is present. Okay. So instead of 0, we can assume it that your last row and last column are repeated. So we can assume that your this extra column is present in the image. Okay, as shown here. Similarly, we can repeat these values from this last row. We can repeat here. Okay, so that we can determine new values of these border pixels. Similarly, here we can repeat this row as 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. And similarly here, before very first row, we can assume the same first row is present, and we can repeat these values here. That is 10, 10, 10, 9, 9. Okay. So in actual image processing, if you want to retain the data of border pixels, you can make these assumptions. You can assume that your image is surrounded by additional rows and columns, and you can repeat this last column at last position. You can repeat first column before the image. Okay, you can repeat this column here as 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Similarly, you can repeat first row before your image, and similarly you can repeat last row after the last row of the image. And for these corners, again, there won't be any data in the corners. Okay, and for corners, you can assume average of these two neighboring pixels. Okay, so here 11, 11, average of these two is 11. Here you can assume average of 9 and 9, so average is 9. Average of 10 and 10, so here at this corner you will get 10, and here again average of 10 and 10, so you will get here 10. Okay, so these assumptions you can make if you want to determine new values of these pixels. Okay, but right now what we are doing, we are skipping first row, last row. We are skipping first column and last column, and we are determining new value only for the central 3 by 3 region. Is it clear to you all why we are not right now considering very first pixels and very last pixels? If it is clear to you, please type yes in the chat box. If not clear, please type your doubt. Okay, so I have received few yes answers. So I hope it is clear to you all, and we can proceed to next part of the numerical. Okay. Okay, so we have completed determining new values of first three pixels, that is 0, 10, 10. Now determine new value of this pixel, which is indicated here in green. And for this pixel, neighborhood is shown in 3 by 3. Okay. Okay, so I'm getting few answers for uh, this new pixel. So let me check which answer is correct. Okay, so again, if you add all these 9 pixels, addition is 82. 82 divided by 9 approximated to next integer, you are getting value 9. So similarly, you can proceed to these next 5 pixels, and you can get new values for these rest 5 pixels. Okay. So hope this process, how to apply an averaging filter or arithmetic mean filter on the given image, is clear to you. Feel free to ask any doubts. Okay. If you have any simple doubt, you can ask. Please type in the chat box if you have any doubt. Otherwise, if no doubt, we will proceed to next type of filter. Okay, so hope this process is clear to you. Please do these remaining pixel values, new values of remaining 5 pixels. Please do it as your homework. Okay, now let us proceed to next type of filter. So the next filter under smoothing filters category is weighted average filter. Okay. So as the name indicates, weighted average, here we are assigning different weights to different pixel positions. Okay. Now, if you look at, this is one example of weighted average filter. So here we have assigned maximum weight to the central pixel. Because we have to determine new value of central pixel, maximum weight is given to the central pixel. And then these vertical neighbors and horizontal neighbors, they are closest to the central pixel. So their weight is slightly less, which is given here as 2, 2, 2. And diagonal neighbors, they are slightly away from the central pixel, and hence their weight is reduced further. So for diagonal positions, weight is 1. Okay. So this is an example of weighted average filter. And of course, all these coefficient values are divided by 60, right? Because we want processed image in the same range as 0 to 255 as original image range. So this scaling is very important. So here actual coefficient value is not 1, but it is 1 by 16. This is 2 by 16. Then this is 1 by 16. 2 by 16, 4 by 16, 2 by 16, 1 by 16, 2 by 16, and 1 by 16. Okay. So again, this 1 by 16, which is common factor to all these coefficients, it is taken out and shown here. Okay. So this common factor is 1 by 16, and all these weight values are as shown here. Okay. So how we derived this denominator? It is nothing but addition of all these coefficient values. So if you add all these numbers, 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1, it gives you 16. That's why we are dividing this addition of all products by 60. Okay. So this is your weighted average filter. Here we are assigning weights as per the position. As we move away from the central pixel, weight goes on reducing. Okay. So now if we plot this filter as 3D plot, it takes approximate Gaussian shape. You just try to visualize this as X coordinate, this as Y coordinate, and amplitude as third dimension. So 4 has maximum amplitude. So at center, you will get maximum amplitude. Then as you move away from the center, amplitude goes on reducing. Okay, so at unit distance, you are getting amplitude as 2. And then if you move away by root 2, your amplitude is further reduced, which is 1. So if you try to visualize this in 3 dimension, this shape is similar to approximate Gaussian shape. So the same thing is shown here. So this is your, say, X direction, this is Y direction. Central coefficient value is maximum, which is 4. If you go to next neighbor, value is reduced, it becomes 2. And if you move further away, value is further reduced, which is 1. Okay. So this weighted average filter is actually approximation of this Gaussian function. All of you are familiar with this Gaussian function. Gxy is given by 1 upon 2 sigma square into e raised to x square plus y square by sigma square. Okay. So this, as you move away from the center, amplitude of your filter coefficient goes on reducing. And same is reflected here in this 3 by 3 filter. Okay. So this weighted average filter we can also name as Gaussian filter. Of course, we can name it as Gaussian filter if these filter coefficients are derived from this particular equation. Okay. So this is approximate Gaussian filter. Okay. So this is an input image. And if we filter it with 5 by 5 Gaussian filter, we can get this image. Now, when I say 5 by 5 Gaussian filter, this filter mask size is 5 by 5. And here scaling factor is 1 by 25. Okay. Not 1 by 25. It is actual addition of all the coefficient values in the mask. Okay. So here whatever shown is 3 by 3 weighted average filter. Okay. So basically this weighted averaging filter is more effective smoothing filter. It can be generated by allowing different pixels in the neighborhood having different weights. Okay. So as shown here, this is your weighted average filter. So pixels closer to the central pixel are more important. Okay. So your central pixel is most important pixel because this is pixel under consideration. We are determining new value of this pixel. So it has maximum weight, which is 4 by 16. And as we move away from the center, weight goes on reducing. So for vertical and horizontal neighbors, weight is slightly reduced, which is 2 by 16. And for diagonal neighbors, weight is further reduced, which is 1 by 16. So in case of weighted averaging filter, weights are assigned according to the position. Okay. Closer pixels have greater weight and farther pixels, they have less weight value. Okay. So in general, any weighted averaging filter we can represent by this formula. So here, your resultant pixel value P is given by summation AI Ni divided by summation AI. Okay, so here AI represents filter coefficient values. So as shown here, these are your filter coefficient values. In the denominator, we are considering summation AI, that is addition of all these values, which is 16. And In the numerator, we are considering summation AI Ni, where AI is filter coefficient and Ni represents pixel value at that location, at ith location from the given neighborhood. So in general, for weighted average filters, we can represent it with this particular formula. New pixel value P is obtained by summation AI Ni divided by summation AI. Okay. So basically, one advantage of weighted average filter is that it can preserve the edges, or it can have less amount of blurring effect as compared to normal averaging filter. Okay, so when we consider normal averaging filter, all these coefficients are identical. They are 1 by 9, 1 by 9, 1 by 9. So it has more blurring effect. But in case of weighted average filter, we are giving more weight to the central pixel, that is pixel under consideration. And that's why blurring effect is slightly less than that in normal averaging filter. Okay. So it is useful in preserving details as compared to your standard averaging filter. Okay. So now let us solve one example based on weighted average filter. So process remains the same. How to apply the filter, it remains the same. Only changes your filter coefficients are now changed. Now we are considering these filter coefficients, and instead of considering these fractional values, we can consider this filter 1 to 1, 2, 4 to 1 to 1. We can take multiplication of these values with corresponding pixel values, and then we can divide the total addition by 60. Okay. So let us consider again same image. Okay. And now apply weighted average filter on this image. Again, we are going to simply consider central 3 by 3 region, so that we need not do any assumption for unavailable data. Okay. So we are skipping first row, last row. We are skipping first column, last column, and we are going to determine new values only for this particular central 3 by 3 region. So from this central 3 by 3 region, very first pixel is this one. So the local neighborhood is as shown here by yellow color. So you have to consider these 9 pixels and multiply them by respective weighted average filter coefficient and give me new value for this particular pixel. Type it in the chat box. Okay. So we are considering these as filter coefficients. So multiply 10 by 1, then next 10 by 2, 10 by 1, then this 10 by 2. Consider central pixel value 0 multiplied by 4, then 10 by 2, then 10 by 1 into 12 by 2, plus 12 by 2 plus 10 into 1. Okay. So yes, I got a few answers. Okay. So add all these products and divide it by 16, and you will get the new value of the pixel. So as shown here, you can perform these products, then add all these 9 products and divide it by 16 to get the new value. So the result is 8.875. Now, as this 8.8 is closer to 9, you have to consider new pixel value as 9 and not 8. Okay. Now, because the result is 8.8, if we round it to next integer, nearest integer, it becomes 9. Okay, so 9 is the new value for this position. Okay, so here you will get 9. Okay, so here you will get new value which is 9. Okay. So now this 0 will be replaced by 9 in the enhanced image. Okay. So here I just like to explain you one important point related to this image. So this is a small 5 by 5 image. Now this 0 value represents noise in the image. And this noise is known as paper noise because it, if you try to visualize this as image, every pixel with 0 value represents a dark dot on the image. So if you try to visualize this as an image, it will look as say paper sprinkled on some object. Okay, so that's why this is known as paper noise. And if you look here, here you have a pixel with maximum bright value, which is 255. This is also a noise pixel, and this represent very bright value. So if you try to visualize this as an image, you will observe that your image is corrupted by bright white spots. Okay, combinedly this paper and salt noise, you can call this type of noise as salt paper noise. So when your image is corrupted by salt paper noise, you will observe dark and bright spots present on the image. And this looks like salt and pepper sprinkled on a food atom. So that this type of noise is known as salt pepper noise. Okay, and when we apply averaging filter or when we apply weighted average filter, we can observe that these values are replaced by average of the neighborhood, and hence the noise disappears. Now in this example we have seen that your 0 is replaced by 9. Okay, so in the enhanced image you will observe that your central pixel is now not corrupted by the noise, but you will get an image which is recovered image. Okay, where noise is removed. So that is use of averaging filters. Averaging filters are very useful to remove noise from the given image. Okay, getting this? Okay. So for the given image, this 0 is replaced by 9. Now try to determine new values of remaining pixels. So scroll this mask to next pixel position, then go to the next pixel position. So we can complete first 3 pixels from the given image, then shift the mask to new position. Okay, and tell me new value of this pixel. Okay. Tell me new value of this next pixel. We are not going to solve all the, we are not going to solve this numerical completely, but we are going to have a look at one more pixel in the given image. Sorry, there is some mistake in the next slide. Okay, just do it for this particular position. Determine new value for this pixel. So multiply each pixel with respective pixel values. Okay. So for central coefficient, weight value is 4. For these horizontal and vertical neighbors, it is 2. And for diagonal neighbors, it is 1. Okay. So I think whatever is written here, it is for this particular pixel position. So 10 multiplied by 1 in, sorry, 10 multiplied by 1, then 0 multiplied by 2, then 10 multiplied by 1, again 10 multiplied by 2, then 12 multiplied by 4, then 10 multiplied by 2, then 10 multiplied by 1, this 10 multiplied by 2, this 10 multiplied by 1. Okay, so you will get total addition, divide it by 16, and with this you can get new value of this particular pixel. Okay, so yes, Mehak, I think your answer is correct. Okay, so yes, 8.875. So this pixel value 12, this will be replaced by 9. Okay, so here you like your standard averaging filter, you can use same procedure to apply your weighted average filter. Only difference is coefficient weights are different. Okay, so uh, by repeating this process, you can determine new values for all the pixels in this central 3 by 3 region. So again, do it as homework. So for today, that's all for today. So in today's lecture, we have studied averaging filter and weighted average filter. And as compared to standard averaging filter, weighted average filter gives us less amount of blurring. Okay, so that blurring effect you can observe with this next example. Okay, we will do this next example in the next lecture. Now I request all of you to type your attendance for today's lecture. Please type 5 digits of your last 5 digits of PRN number followed by your name. Don't write any other symbol between your PRN number and name. Thank you all. That's all for today. If you have any doubt,